At exactly 6:17 a.m., the house was still asleep. The sun had not fully risen. The street was quiet, and nothing appeared unusual. Yet, that was the last confirmed moment a family of 5 was ever seen again. No screams, no forced entry, no struggle, no note. Just silence, the kind of silence that feels wrong. The kind that doesn't fade with time. Because when neighbors passed by later that day, the front door was locked, the windows were closed, the lights were off, and the family car was gone. Inside the house, everything was exactly where it should have been. Clothes folded, dishes clean, beds slept in, children's toys untouched, as if life itself had been paused, mid-breath, and whoever left never intended to return, or never had the chance to. The father was known as calm, dependable, the type of man people trusted without question. The mother was protective, deeply attached to her children, rarely missed school events, rarely away from home. The children were active, social, recognizable faces in their community. No history of abuse, no police calls, no visible cracks. Yet investigators would later say this was one of the most deceptive cases they had ever encountered, because normality can be the best disguise. Phone records would eventually reveal tension, quiet arguments, stress masked as responsibility, financial pressure hidden behind routine smiles, and subtle behavioral changes that seemed meaningless at the time. But after the disappearance, they felt like warnings everyone missed. The morning they vanished followed no pattern that made sense. Alarms were not triggered. Neighbors heard nothing. The car was seen leaving the area on a nearby camera, but no footage ever captured where it went next. No highway cameras, no toll booths, no confirmed sightings. The vehicle simply dissolved into the distance. And by nightfall, panic had replaced confusion. Police were called. Reports were filed. And within days, the story spread across the nation. Because families do times not times vanish like this. Not without a trace. Not without mistakes. Yet this one left almost times nothing asterisk. As investigators dug deeper, the details grew darker. Bank accounts frozen. Phones turned off permanently. Emails stopped. Social media abandoned. Then came the discovery that shifted the entire case. Internet searches made days before the disappearance. Searches asking how to disappear completely, how to erase identity, how to start over without being found. These searches were not accidental. They were deliberate, calculated, and terrifying. Because they suggested planning. But planning for what? Escape or erasure? Psychologists brought in to consult on the case focused on control. The idea that someone believed the only solution was disappearance. That life itself had become a trap too tight to escape through normal means. Some experts whispered about family annihilation psychology, but there was no violence, no blood, no bodies, no crime scene, and that absence is what made the case unbearable. Because if they didn't die, then where were they? And if they did, then how could 5 people vanish without leaving a single physical trace? Theory after theory collapsed under scrutiny. Some believed the family chose to leave voluntarily, to reinvent themselves. But experts argued that erasing 5 identities across multiple systems without detection borders on impossible. Others suspected an external threat. Blackmail, coercion, fear, powerful enough to force an entire family to abandon everything. But no suspects were ever named. No arrests made. And then there was the darkest possibility that something happened after they left. Something unrecorded. A crash hidden from view. An encounter that went wrong. A crime that left no witnesses, no evidence. Years passed. The house was sold. Strangers slept in the same rooms. Unanswered questions lingered, and the case remained open, frozen in time. But what the public didn't know, what investigators kept quiet for years, was a detail so disturbing. It reframed everything, because shortly before the disappearance, a final piece of evidence surfaced. Something found buried deep in recovered data, something that was never meant to be seen. And when analysts finally decoded it, they realized the family may not have been running away at all. They may have been running from something, and whatever it was, didn't stop when they disappeared, because it was still out there, waiting. Part 2 reveals what investigators never shared with the public, the hidden timeline, the buried truth, and a discovery too disturbing to ignore. Subscribe now so you don't miss it.